Do you go out, like, at all, ever? She interrogated him more than questioned. Her words lingered, and the two caught eyes before Tobias decided to answer. He thought he regained power by waiting to answer, but quickly regressed into self-consciousness when he grappled for an answer. I mean, yeah, of course. A bar. Nadia put on a she-devil grin as she interrupted him. Okay, call me Victory, he thought. Finally, he said something that wasn't a complete goof. His apartment was reminiscent of his boyhood bedroom. Scarce as it was, Tobias felt comfortable in his digs. He had a modest-sized flat-screen television, but he rarely powered it on except for marathons of Doctor Who when he wasn't working. His sofa was a funky shade of orange, right out of a 70s basement. There wasn't much to be said of his apartment tucked away in a small residential building just west of downtown Dodge. In fact, everything about Tobias' life was just ordinary and predictable. He knew every corner of his apartment the same way he knew every corner of the town he grew up in. His sense of familiarity was beginning to smother him now. Everything was growing still in his life. He wondered about the unknown now and found himself thinking about adventure in a way he never had. His imagination was starting to become untamed. In some ways, he still felt like a kid. Just then, Tobias grew tired suddenly. Like his days of old, he went to bed relatively early. But tonight was the exception as he watched the clock, waiting to hear from Nadia. It was nearing 10:30 and still no word from this enchanted, dark-eyed beauty. Yet, somehow this is what he expected from someone as self-centered as Nadia. Or maybe this was just a stunt she conjured up in the moments before leaving his car to seem appreciative. Tobias let his mind run down a list of all the reasons why anything between him and Nadia could never work. He thought she was too brash, and he knew himself to be too sensitive of a creature for her. Nadia was a party girl, and he was a homebody. And finally, he thought, she's much too exciting for someone as plain as him. His levis were worn, his facial hair tattered, and he rarely made trips to the barber shop to control his curly tresses. Whichever way they landed in the morning is how they stayed. Tobias didn't have to face the public at work, and it was evident in his appearance. No, someone as vain as Nadia couldn't be interested in going out with him. He pulled off his faded t-shirt and fell onto his sofa. Despite his knowledge of Nadia's unappealing traits, he allowed himself to let the memory of her voice lull him to sleep. He was hoping he could dream about her. If she was the last thought on his mind before sleep.